you guys, we still have a lot of top players playing this week at the Valspar. You realize that? I
Yeah,
mean, you've got Hovland, you've got JT, I think you've got half of the top 10 in the world are turning around. It's not a very far trip from Jacksonville to Tampa, but they're turning around and they're going to play in the Valspar. So, Tyler, what you're saying about you got to kind of rethink about when you're picking guys. I don't know what to do this week. Do you? I mean, I
No,
might go with a guy who's 60th in the world. I might pick Justin Thomas. I don't know.
I think that's the thing. You got to find something else outside of just pure luck of whether it's a storyline or you got to go into the analytics and figure out, what the course means to them. But I don't know. I mean, if you're going alphabetically,
Well,
Keegan Bradley's interesting.
he played well here last year, and I saw somewhere some people were really hot on Keegan Bradley this week. Dude came out of
yeah.
nowhere, so somebody was
That
right
was a
about something.
surprise for me.
I
Anyone who saw that coming, that was the dark horse to me this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, I also
doubt.
think that this week was a classic example of why you have to throw out analytics. There's a reason why people weren't
Well,
picking Cam Smith. Nobody saw his incredible putting coming. They probably just looked at the fact that he played twice in the last 2 months with not really good results outside of the Century of Champions, Mike, I know. This is a classic example of, okay, I want to pick the guy who's going to have shots gained approach and the guy who's driving the ball straight. That's who I'm going to pick. Well, Cameron Smith didn't really hit the ball that straight this week, guys. He was a struggle bus yesterday.
Can I say something though here real quick? I think the reason you have to
Sure.
throw out analytics is not because they don't mean anything. It's because of the way the weather hit. So
that's what I was going to say.
a lot of the guys that are fantastic with their shot gains approach,
Right.
they were playing in the gale storms on Saturday, just trying to get their first and second rounds. And
Right.
so
Clearly.
So why the analytics maybe didn't speak so loudly this year, it's not because they're worthless. It's more so they had the, no pun intended, perfect storm of situation there at Ponte Vedra this year.
When I say worthless, I should rephrase that. If you've got a player that you want to pick who's, let's say he's middle of the pack on the tour, let's say he's like 100th in approaching the green or 100th in driving or chipping or putting, I don't think you should be afraid of picking those guys. It's when somebody gets down in the 200s and they're way down there in multiple rankings is when you shouldn't pick somebody. But I think picking somebody just because they're a top 10 ball strikers is not the way to go. And this week was a classic example.
Well, I mean, I don't know the stats on Lahiri, but I mean, he couldn't have been out there, right?
No.
I mean, I don't know
Well,
if his stats are any
Smith
good.
was either. In fact, let me look up Cam Smith.
Do that. I honestly, I think I got to do some more research on the course and figure out, where the nugget is with this weekend. But yeah, I'm surprised the big names that are out for the Valspar. Dustin Johnson, also a good idea. Sorry,
man,
Mike.
he was hot
Go ahead.
today.
Did you see him
I was
hold
just
out
saying,
yeah.
Eagle on number 9? He shot a 63,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure Cam Smith is top 10 strokes gains approach and top 10 putting.
Okay,
I think that's a recipe for success.
I have it pulled up.
Shane Lowry.
So off the tee is 147th.
Which
he's losing almost half a shot off the tee, which around a place like that really doesn't matter that much. Approaching the green 6th, around the green
He's
21st, and on the green 3rd. That's after the play. That's after the players though. He gained 3 shots on the field putting each day.
Yeah, that's
someone
huge.
going to pick Harold Varner soon.
I think he's got his one lifetime win in Saudi already taken care of. So no.
if we're throwing out random names.
Well, yeah.
Okay, look at this stat. Look at this graphic. Would you take a chance on 2 old timers who historically play well at the Valspar? Would you take a chance on Paul Casey, who's won there recently?
Never.
Who, basically nobody picked at the Players this week, whose game is probably in better shape than we want to admit. And then there's Louis Oosthuizen, okay, who you're never going to have any idea where to pick Louis, because Louis and Justin Thomas are the 2 guys I feel like you could pick them anywhere and you are just rolling a dice because they might win, get second, or they might miss the cut. Louis played well here. He was playing pretty well at the Players for most of the week. He kind of crumbled on Sunday and a little bit throughout the weekend in the weather. These are two guys that I might take a look at, taking a chance on if you want to be different this week and get back in your bets for the Valspar.
Yeah, all you're trying to do is drive us away from success with those, Chris. So don't even. Nice try.
But no, but really, I can see what you're saying with Louis. You think so on Paul Casey too?
I think Louis will crush Paul Casey this week, if we're being honest. I mean, I think a lot of the guys that finished high aren't going to fare so well at the Valspar. That was an exhausting week.
You're right about that.
And not to keep talking about it, but Justin Thomas, his round of 3 under bogey free was heroic. Maybe he was just 2 under.
Oh,
I think
a compliment for JT.
I know.
Wow.
And what did he do?
That
He
was
turned around
maybe
and
the
blew it
best
after
round
that.
of the
So you
year
can talk about that.
so far. But I think that made him so mentally exhausted that's why he just faded after that. Like you thought the way he was hitting the ball, he's like, all right, he's gonna have a shot, and then he came out hot out of the gates, I think in the 3rd round, and then he faded hard. I imagine that was just fatigue setting in, because the way that weather was and the wind was, he had to have been working so hard, both mentally and physically, to do what he did. And I think the same can be said about anyone that finished up high, and that was pretty emotional. Paul Casey getting a big paycheck. I don't expect him to do anything at the Valspar.
Okay, so
wise words by Mike. I agree with
you both think that the majority, and there'll be somebody at the Valspar who played well this week who will play well next week. It's bound to happen. But do you think staying away from most of those guys who had exhausting rounds at the Players and were trying to win at the end and had to deal with all those elements, don't pick them this week?
Well,
because here's my next one.
Yeah. See, but he's built different, right? I mean, I think because he just keeps hanging around and hanging around and hanging around.
He's due.
But this is just another situation where you throw everything. You throw the. Huh?
No, keep going. You throw away. Go ahead. Mike can talk after.
You throw everything out because it's Monday, right? They finished on a Monday.
Yeah.
So who knows how much rest people are going to need and what they're going to get. And before I pass it over to Mike, you guys, playing golf in inclement weather sucks.
It's hard.
It's terrible. It is so hard.
Justin Thomas hit a 6-iron into 17 from 135 yards.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How
and then they turn around.
Discipline does it take to do that?
I mean, just to know what to hit in that wind.
Absolutely.
I think, was he the first one to hit the green? Like, I forget where he fell into that sequence. But
I watched.
That was something else.
I watched diligently it was a Saturday morning when they all, Mike, you texted, you said everyone's hitting it in the water on 17. Koepka, Scheffler, Schauffele, all missed the green by a wide margin. And then I believe Rory luckily didn't miss the green right after that. Justin Thomas was the first one to hit the green because Colin Morikawa also missed the green. So 5 of the top 6 players in the world in 2 groups missed the green. 135 yards out.
That's so excusable, though.
It was. I'd never seen. It was fun to watch. I mean, like you say, Tyler, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I'd be brutal. A mess. It would carry over to this week for sure.
So, Mike, go ahead and go back to that's the wrong one.
Oh,
I'm not.
My Hovland was just, dude, like if that guy could chip even decently, I think he'd have had wins the last 5 of the last 6 events he started.
Yeah, he would have won Bay Hill. I know that.
He would have won today. He would have it's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I watched him.
So
diligently because I picked him in my.
What do you do? What do you do if you're his coach? You just tell him start putting from the rough. Like I mean just.
I mean, honestly, Viktor Hovland seems like the kind of guy who he's a professional ball striker and just top of the world in class. But then he goes up to a chip and you feel like he's an average amateur and you have no idea if he's going to get it up or down.
But I figured it out, Christopher, and I'm going to give you maybe a little bit of credit or credence or whatever you want to, what we were talking about last week in terms of you can only get so far hitting golf balls in your basement on a golf simulator, right? I
Oh,
think
boy.
Hovland is a perfect example of a guy who grew up in Norway.
Here we go.
Trained himself hitting golf balls on those short days in the garage. And so you have his strokes gains, approach off the tee, right? Stuff you can practice, in a garage, but it's that finesse where he has those shortcomings. I don't know if there's something to that, but I actually thought of that.
Why would you do this
yesterday while I was hitting balls in the basement?
Walked right into this.
Hey, I'm just saying, do you guys think there's any connection there between how he grew up and learned the game to why that's his weakness?
I never thought about it, but there's no reason why you're wrong. It's not like he lives in Norway now, but if we're going to be honest about it, all these guys who've been playing their entire life, including Viktor Hovland, probably have been working on their short game
their entire life.
Right. Viktor Hovland, maybe, and he's still a young guy. It's not like he's 35 years old and he's been working on a short game for 20 years.
Right.
You might have something to do there. I don't know if this is going to be my one and done now to Viktor Hovland. I'm at a loss this week at the Valspar. Honestly, I think I might pick somebody middle of the pack because I agree with you guys. Coming off the Players' Championship, exhaustion. I don't want to say not caring this week, but there's probably a mental side to these players this week where they're like, all right, if I'm not doing that great on Thursday and Friday, it's not the end of the world.
So I haven't done my due diligence, but is there anyone in the Valspar field who, maybe wasn't qualified, but has been having an okay season so far, has been showing signs of life? Maybe someone like a Ricky Fowler, perhaps.
Ricky Fowler's actually not in it this week,
might be primed and ready to go. He's not playing. Okay.
He's not playing. I did not make the Ricky Roulette graph.
But someone like that, right? Where they've been doing well. Weren't qualified for the Players, but are in the field.
Gary Woodland,
dig down,
Gary Woodland.
Oh,
that might jump out. He had a great game at the Honda.
There's something about Tommy Fleetwood that just I feel like something good's gonna happen. And when I mean good, I don't mean
go ahead, jump. No, just jump off that and go for it. Davis Love is in the field. Look at this.
Okay, well then
I thought if it was going to happen for Tommy Wood, it was going to happen this week. I thought, if Tommy Fleetwood, Tommy Ladd, if he was gonna get one, it was gonna be this week. Especially since he had that great round Friday, got to sit out the elements. He's a great player and win from his upbringing, and then he was just a disappointment. So I don't think he's close.